Deborah Cahn's path from the West Wing to creating The Diplomat for Netflix started with a chance encounter that opened her eyes to the hidden intensity of life in the Foreign Service. Over the years, she built connections with diplomats, ambassadors, and State Department officials, gaining a deep understanding of the demanding, high-stakes nature of their world. Inspired by their experiences, she envisioned a series centered on characters shaped by the personal and political pressures of diplomacy, where the job often borders on obsession. After her work on the West Wing, Netflix approached Cahn about creating and writing something. While working on Homeland, she and the team regularly brought in experts, ranging from CIA agents to military and political figures for insight. One standout was former Ambassador Beth Jones, who had spent much of her career in the Middle East. With her fast-paced speech and modest, librarian-like appearance, she described the intense, high-stakes work she handled in Islamabad. To Cahn, it was clear. Jones wasn't just an expert, she was the blueprint for a series. A real-life superhero in a pantsuit. Of course, with casting Keri Russell as this character, the team wanted to put her against people who are at least her equal in ability. The goal was to make every character's perspective valid. No easy villains or simplistic motives. In global diplomacy, the challenges are massive and complex. It's never just a matter of someone being evil or foolish. Cahn wanted the story to reflect that nuance, giving Kate problems that feel impossible, yet showing her relentless drive to solve them. It's a reflection of the real people in this world, facing war and deep-rooted conflict, yet returning to the table again and again. Russell brings that same determination and depth, capturing both the weight of the stakes and the refusal to back down. Although the intense political drama of The Diplomat isn't pulled from real-life events, the show's creators heavily rely on insights from real-world political experts to ensure authenticity. Executive producer Janice Williams explains that realism is a top priority, and they regularly collaborate with individuals such as former ambassadors, diplomats, and CIA personnel to accurately portray how things work behind the scenes. There are times when we're told what the right way to do something is, and we have to choose to do it a different way anyway for dramatic purposes, says Williams. Among the show's expert consultants are Jonathan Powell, a veteran UK civil servant, Carrie Amalung, a former CIA officer, and Eli Addy, who once worked at the White House and now serves as a consulting producer on the series. Powell emphasizes the balance between fact and fiction. This is not a documentary, this is entertainment. They're not going to sit there and watch a very boring show about negotiation, says Powell. The consultant's job is not to tell the team not to do exciting things, but instead to suggest ideas of where they can go. Another West Wing alum joins the ensemble this season. Bradley Whitford plays President Grace Penn's husband, Todd Penn, reuniting him with his former West Wing co-star Janney. It's been 20 years since the end of the West Wing, but the chemistry between the two actors hasn't dimmed. As Whitford says, Janney is one of his favorite people on the planet, and happens to be one of the greatest actors. So when the opportunity arose and he received a text asking him to join the project, he immediately answered yes before he got to the end of the pitch. Now that's dedication. Back for its third season, The Diplomat was filmed primarily in the United Kingdom and the United States. The establishing shots of the US Embassy in London were filmed at the actual diplomatic mission building in the English capital. For the official residence of the US Ambassador to the United Kingdom, production used the iconic Winfield House. However, the interiors of the house were filmed at Wrotham Park, a large country house in South Mimms, Hertfordshire. Production filmed in St. Paul for episode 2 of the season for 4 days, which is an impressive feat considering that it's one of London's most popular tourist destinations. They also shot some scenes at the Old Royal Naval College in Greenwich, a location used in the previous 2 seasons. And speaking of tourist destinations, the series was also shot at Trafalgar Square in season 3. The Diplomat heads stateside, including a trip to Long Island. The Penn's beach house in Amagansett is actually the Seacroft estate on Center Island in Long Island. The script called for a house with adjoining cottages, and the estate has over 10 cottages, all with different looks that were built for guests way back in the day. All the interior Washington, D.C. locations were actually shot in New York City. Our production designer, Kurt Beach, chose the DeSaverky Mansion in Long Island for most of the interiors. And we also filmed hallways and the library at the Lotus Club in Manhattan, says Williams. Fans of the show know that Kate loves to wear the same black suit as her signature outfit. The show is now over 3 years in, and Kate still wears the same black suit with an occasional shirt color change sometimes. Russell has shared in past interviews that the style decision is intentional, because when one has such staple pieces in their wardrobe, they are free to think about other things. When you have a uniform, you're not spending mental time thinking about anything else other than what you want to focus on, says Russell. Of course, one standout fashion moment is in the season 1 finale, when Kate wears a red dress. The show's costume designer, Roland Sanchez, said the decision was made by Cahn since it was always in her script. Cahn intended the red dress to mark a significant turning point for Kate, particularly since she had been firmly opposed to anything that hinted at a fairy tale or Cinderella theme earlier in the season. Sanchez echoes that the switch-up demonstrates Kate's major progression as a character over the course of the season. The character realizes they need to get out of their comfort zone, and wearing a red dress becomes a necessity rather than a luxury. Director Alex Graves, who directed more than half of the previous season, returns to direct half of Season 3. He has always been an executive producer on the project, thanks to his collaboration and friendship with Cahn. One of the biggest aspects of the show that he directs is the walk-and-talk approach to scenes where characters are just walking through a space and having a lengthy conversation. It's a big part of shows like The West Wing and Game of Thrones, and it's something that Graves and his team wanted to perfect for The Diplomat as well. Directors obviously don't want to shoot every scene the same way, and they don't want to shoot it differently just to shoot it differently. So Graves' staging approach is to think about where the camera should be to reflect the psychology of the character or the emotions of what's going on with the camera. You also have to know where the camera needs to be to build the cutting that will tell the story. That's really my discipline, says Graves. The Season 2 finale leads into Season 3 by resetting the board and setting the stage for a series of dramatic political shifts. The car bombing at Notting Hill closes Season 1, and the Season 2 premiere picks up minutes after the event, with key characters facing life-threatening situations. Season 2 starts with the confirmation of a Member of Parliament, Merritt Grove's death, and the start of a political scandal. The Season 2 finale reveals that the President of the United States, President William Rayburn, is dead, and that Penn is now President of the United States, setting up an interesting new power dynamic between Kate and President Penn, two strong women at the top of the political game. Kate and Hal's relationship remains one of the most intriguing elements of The Diplomat, largely due to the compelling performances and on-screen chemistry between Russell and Rufus Sewell. And Season 3 goes deeper into their complicated relationship. Their constantly shifting dynamic, marked by both affection and conflict, keeps the audience engaged, as their love is frequently challenged by their individual goals and convictions. Season 3 delves deeper into this complex bond, and delivers some of the series' most powerful and emotionally charged moments. Graves says, "There's a lot of fantastic performances and more amazing writing in Season 3. With the show's ongoing exploration of how political agendas intertwine with personal stakes, this season is one of the show's most captivating yet." Thanks for joining us behind the scenes. We hope you enjoyed getting a closer look at The Diplomat Season 3 and how the season came to be, from the writing to the casting of actors and locations and production design. If you like this kind of content, let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next for Collider Behind the Scenes.